everybody who could prove that he's a Portuguese and descendant from a Portuguese Jew Sephardi could apply for Portuguese nationality.
טוב חברים, אז הכנו את הפרק הזה כדי לענות על שאלות שאנחנו מקבלים מהרבה אנשים מקהילת מגורשי ספרד בישראל. אנחנו יודעים שיש הרבה מידע שמסתובב בקשר לאזרחות הפורטוגלית, הרבה שאלות, ואפילו כאלה שחושבים שכבר אי אפשר להגיש בכלל בקשה לאזרחות פורטוגלית על בסיס גירוש יהודי ספרד. אז כדי לעשות לכם סדר פה ולהעניק ככה ניתוח בטוח ואמין, איזבל כאן איתי, אנחנו פה במהדורה מיוחדת כדי לדבר על כל השינויים האלה הקיימים ושיהיו. איזבל היא מומחית שלנו בתחום האזרחות הפורטוגלית, היא עבדה בממשלה בפורטוגל מעל 20 שנה, ממש במשרד המשפטים בפורטוגל, כולל בקונסרבטוריה, והיא חלק היום מצוות מרטינס קסטרו כבר כמה שנים. אז שלום איזבל, היי איזבל.
שלום אורי.
אז אני רק אתחיל ואומר שבאפשרותכם לקבל מידע נוסף גם באמצעות קוד ה-QR שמופיע פה על המסך, וגם בתיאור יהיה לכם כזה קישור, תוכלו להיכנס, למלא טופס, והצוות שלנו יבחן את המצב שלכם ואת השורשים ויסביר מה עליכם לעשות, כדי להתחיל את הבקשה לאזרחות, כל עוד עדיין יש זמן להגיש. אז קודם כל בואו נבין איך אזרחות פורטוגלית יכולה לספק לכם ביטחון והגנה למשפחה. אז אני אשאל גם את איזבל באנגלית. So, how can Portuguese citizenship provide security and protection for my family? Isabel.
So, right now, what we are during here those days in Portugal, if you want to guarantee that your family can get the Portuguese nationality because you are a descendant from Sephardi Jew, you must take care of all your documents right now. We have right now a political moment in Portugal. The parliament wants to talk about an amendment to the Portuguese law nationality. Right now, nothing changes right now because the parliament, everyone is on vacation. But in September, they are going to talk about it again. So if you want to be sure that your family can get that nationality, you must start right now to get your documents and to come with us to do all the things that you need to apply for Portuguese nationality.
Thank you. אם כבר התחלתי את התהליך שלי, האם אני צריך לדאוג לגבי השינויים המוצעים? If I've already started my application, do I need to worry about the proposed changes?
So, if you already apply for Portuguese nationality, it means if you already have your application in the Conservatoria, you don't have to worry about anything. And you are going to tell me why. Because in Portugal, when you apply for Portuguese nationality, the law who is going to be the one to decide your application will be the one who were enforced the day that you applied. So if after that anything changed, it's not going to harm you. So don't worry, if you already applied for Portuguese nationality, nothing is going to happen to your application.
והאם אני יכול עדיין להעביר זכויות באזרחות לבני המשפחה שלי, אם הבקשה שלי כבר בטיפול? Can I still transmit nationality rights to my family members if my application is already in progress?
Of course, because they want to change many things in the Portuguese law nationality, but they're not going to amend anything about minor children or spouses. So if you already applied or if you want to apply right now, you can still transmit it to your minor children and to your spouses. So the better do you have to do is to apply so you can guarantee the Portuguese nationality for you and also for your minor children and for your spouses.
אז בואו נלך קצת אחורה. כיצד ומדוע נוצר במקור החוק בכלל למגורשי ספרד, ואילו שינויים הוא עבר במהלך השנים האחרונות, ואיזה רגולציה הייתה. So Isabel, let's take a step back. How and why was the Sephardic law originally created? What changes has the law undergone over the years, with and without the regulation?
So in 2013 in Portugal, the parliament decided that we should make something about what happened in the 15th century in Portugal. As you know, we had the Inquisition, and all the persons who were born in Portugal, they were Portuguese, and if they were a Jew, they were expelled. At the moment that they were expelled, they lose their Portuguese nationality. So in 2013, the parliament decided that we should do something to repair that error, like other countries in Europe. And so the parliament decided to make that law some kind of historical reparation. In 2015, that law was regulated, and so after that year, 2015, everybody who could prove that he's a Portuguese and descendant from a Portuguese Jew Sephardi could apply for Portuguese nationality. In fact, it was very simple. You just can prove that you are a descendant from a Sephardi Jew. Of course, we have some changes along the time. We had the changes in 2022. After that, the government said that you should prove that you have some connection with us. That's not a great deal because here in Mastin Castle we can help you to do that. And right now it's still enforced. Of course, we had some changes in 2024, but those amendments are not enforced. I'm going to repeat, are not enforced. Why? Because that amendment to the Portuguese nationality law were not regulated. So right now, the requirement is to prove that you are a descendant from a Sephardi Jew and, of course, prove that you have some connections with us. But don't worry, because here in Martins Castle, we are going to help you to do that.
אז האם זה נכון שמדינות אחרות כמו איטליה, ספרד, שינו את חוקי האזרחות שלהם? Other countries like Italy and Spain changed their own nationality laws, right?
Yes. Those movements that we saw, for example, in Spain also had a law that the same with us, but they decided just to have that enforced during 2 years. After that, they ended. Italy changed the nationally Italian law, but a few days ago we knew that the Constitutional Court was not agreed with those amendments. Of course, for Portugal, it was an historical reparation, and right now the intention of the Parliament is to revoke that possibility. But I repeat, it's just a proposal. It's not an amendment to the law yet. They are going to discuss it again in September, and we are going to see what is going to happen. Right now, it's still possible to apply, and so because they are going to discuss that again in September, I advise you to apply right now so you can be sure that you can have that nationality.
אז האם סופו של מסלול הזה כבר הוכרע, או שזה עדיין רק הצעה? כלומר, מה הצעדים הבאים הצפויים בפורטוגל? Is this the end of this pathway already decided, or it's just still a proposal? Like, what are the next steps that we're expecting?
The next steps is really to get your documents. Right now, it's just a proposal. So it's a proposal, the law is not revoked. But we know that they are going to discuss it again in September. Of course, we are not sure what will be the definitive amendments. They must talk about it, even because that proposal has several things that are not in conformity with our constitution. But right now, it's just a proposal. But even if it's just a proposal, I advise you to do everything that you can so you can be sure that you are going to have that nationality. But right now, there's no amendments. The law is still enforced and it's only a proposal.
לפי החוק היום, מי זכאי להגיש בקשה? According to the law today, who is eligible to apply?
So according to the law that is still enforced today, because I told you that the amendment, it's always only a proposal, everyone who can prove that is the descendant from Sephardi Jew can apply. For that, you must have your genealogical study. You can do it with us. Or if you already have your certificate issued by a Jewish community here in Portugal. And of course, if you can prove that, you can apply for it. And concerning the proofs of connection with our community, our law firm is going to help you to do that.
אז האם זה נכון שאין דרישה לגור היום 3 שנים בפורטוגל מאז השינויים של 2022? So is it true that there are no requirement to live in Portugal for 3 years since the law changed in 2022, right?
We had an amendment to the Portuguese law nationality in 2024. In that amendment, the parliament said, okay, we want that person who's going to apply for Portuguese nationality by the Sephardi roots must live in Portugal from more than 3 years. But that requirement is not enforced. And why? Because the law was amended, but the regulation of the Portuguese nationality were not. So that changing of the law is not enforced. So right now, you don't have to be here residing for more than 3 years to apply. You don't need that. You just need to prove that you are a descendant from Sephardi Jew and have some connections with us, that our law firm will help you to do that.
ולמה חשוב להגיש עכשיו את הבקשה ולא לחכות עוד? וגם כמה זמן נדרש כדי לאתר את המסמכים ולהכין את כל מה שדרוש בשביל להגיש את הבקשה? So, Isabel, why it's so important not to wait until the last moment to apply, and how much time needed to locate the documents and to get the required documents?
It's important to do it right now because, as you know, everything that is political is not in our hands. Politician makes decisions today and tomorrow, and several times they change their mind. So what I'm going to advise you is to do it right now, because we know that in September the Parliament is going to discuss it again, and we don't know what they are going to decide. So to be sure that you can have your Portuguese nationality because you are a descendant from Sephardi Jew, you must try to get your documents right away. I would say that right now just a few documents are needed. You don't need to have all of them. Our services will contact you to say to you what are those documents, so you can be sure that if even the law is changed, you can apply for Portuguese nationality and you will not take any risks. At that moment, I think it's the better way, because we don't know what is going to happen. We only know that we are going to have in September another discussion about the amendments of the Portuguese law nationality, and it's better for all to get the documents right now. Just take care, because in some countries there are certain delays, but I would advise you to do that as soon as possible.
אז עכשיו אני אשאל אותך משהו אחר. מה הופך את הצוות של מרטינס קסטרו לכל כך מומחים בתחום הזה? So, Isabel, I will ask you something else now. What makes Martins Castro's team as an authority in this area?
So several persons talk sometimes about us like agency. First, we are not an agency. We are a law firm. And law firm has lawyers and persons who understand and can say what are the legal solutions. We are not here just because we think it's like this. We are here because we study and we know the law. We know everything about how should the things go on. So we know everything about the law. We study each cases, and we are here based in the law, and everything that we do is always based in the law, and that's why we always searching to understand the law and not going to say that we can't do it. Sometimes I know that to be a lawyer is kind of tough, but everyone who can understand the law perfectly, and that's our case, we know what are the solutions, and more important, we know what are the legal solutions.
אז אחרי כל מה ששמענו, איך אנשים יכולים לבדוק אם הם זכאים ולקבל עוד פרטים? So, after all what we heard here, how can people check if they are eligible and to get more details about the process?
So it's just to fill the form that we have in our site. Just get your birth certificate, those of your parents and grandparents, and we are going to do just the check for free for you, just a first check just to see if you are eligible. So do that, fill our form in our site and see already if you are eligible, because if you are, you can contact us immediately. Someone is going to talk with you and explain everything. So it's the better way is to fill that form, and so you will know in 48 hours if you are eligible. That's the best way to guarantee that you are going to have your Portuguese nationality.
Okay, תודה רבה איזבל.
Bye, Hori. Bye.
Thank you.